Sitting around with the abuser, acting like everything is everything. God said it's time for a preemptive strike. When you hear rape jokes, time for a preemptive strike. We laugh and act like we don't hear them and then wonder how come we have 3 sons incarcerated for rape. When you see it coming, wipe it out so it knows you can't come up in first day of me. Hallelujah. You can't do that in here. You can't do that on my block. Y'all just, sometimes they just casing out a situation, trying to see if they could run it. Huh? Perpetrators test you first. That's the same thing child molesters do. They do a little test first just to see how you're going to respond. So God said, when it shows up, don't act like you don't see him. When the enemy shows up, don't act like you don't see him. They may take your kindness for weakness. Turn and tell somebody, it's okay for a preemptive strike. Not only do you need a preemptive strike, but then sometimes when you're facing an enemy, the thing that you need to do is stand. Put my fists up? No, just stand there. Run? No, just stand. Preemptive? Just stand your ground. 2 Thessalonians 2:15 says, therefore, my brothers and my sisters, stand fast and hold the traditions which you have been taught. 1 Thessalonians 3:8 says, for now we live if we stand. Galatians 5:1 says, stand fast in the liberty wherewith Christ has made you free. After you've done all you can, stand. When you've cried and you prayed, stand. When you're frustrated and depressed, just keep standing. When they lay you off, stand. When you don't know if you're going to go out of your mind, stand. If you don't know if you can reclaim your sanity, stand. If you don't know where the rent money is coming from, stand. If the lights have been turned off, stand. If you're facing depression, just stand. If you're facing an enemy, just stand. If you got problems on your job, just stand. Whatever you do, just stand. Sometimes you got to stand. Sometimes you just got to stand there. Sometimes and your standing will confuse them. Maya Angelou said in the poem, did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? I rise, I rise, I rise. And so when you've done all you can, you've got to stand. God let me know that sometimes people don't heed the warning because they don't understand what we're saying. And so to the hip-hop heads, I would say, 1, 2, 3, we're rolling with G-O-D, soaring with the Trinity, empowered, we are free, we are free, we are free. I said 1, 2, 3, we're rolling with G-O-D, soaring with the Trinity, empowered, we are free, we are free, we are free. And those who don't understand that, we may have some babies who are here. And so to the babies, I would say, you are the spider, God is the sun. The itsy bitsy spider went up that water spout. Down came the rain and washed that spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the itsy bitsy spider went up that spout again. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. And so not only do we have the hip-hop heads, and not only do we have our children, but we can't be in the middle of South Central Los Angeles and not speak the language of the people we're trying to save. And so God said on this morning for us to tell our Latino brothers and sisters, you are the head and not the tail.
Tú eres la cabeza y no los pies.
You are above and not beneath.
Tú estás arriba, no estás abajo.
You shall say to the mountain, move.
Y cuando le digas a la montaña, muévete,
and it shall move.
La montaña se moverá a tu palabra.
When you've done all you can.
Porque tú has hecho todo lo que has podido.
Just stand.
Solo espérate. Levántate.
Just stand.
Solo levántate.
Just stand, 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 just stand. Now let me say this as I take my seat. This is the last thing I want to say to you. When they had the warning about Hurricane Ike, they told the people, you got to get out of town. They said the reason you need to get out of town is because if you stay where you are, you're going to face certain death. And the newscasters on CNN were surprised because they said we never had to issue a warning where we told the people you're facing certain death. And so we watched as the storm came and the newscasters were out in the rain, blowing with the wind, holding on the bushes. Did y'all see them? And the Hurricane Ike came, and some people didn't leave. But, somebody say but. The next morning, they had to get on the news, and they had to say, we thought these people were facing certain death. We don't know what happened. We went to their houses, and they're still there. We went to their homes, and they're still walking around. They picking up their phones, calling 911, talking about when y'all gonna come pick me up. God said there's some people here on this morning, and you were facing certain death. God said you weren't supposed to make it. You're supposed to be in the grave right now. You're supposed to be in prison right now. You're supposed to be drugged out right now. You're supposed to be in an insane asylum, beating your head against the wall. But God showed up in your life. But God is a miracle worker. But God saved you from sin. But God, you were facing certain death. The storm was raging. But God told you to stand.